Have you experienced having a hard time checking your pulse? It is either you are having a hard time locating your pulse or you just don't know where to locate it. Well, here are 4 ways and sites in getting the heartbeat per minute. First is the apical site. It is taken at the apex of the heart and can be felt clearly by placing the heel of your hand over the left side of your chest. Second is the carotid pulse site. It is taken from the carotid artery located beside the larynx using the light pressure from the tips of the pointer and middle finger. And reminder, never check both your carotid arteries at the same time. Third is the radial pulse site. It is taken from the radial artery, which is located at your wrist in line with the thumb. The pulse can be taken using the tips of the pointer and middle fingers. And lastly, the temporal pulse site. It can be obtained from the left or right temple with light pressure using the tips of the pointer and middle fingers. Now you know how and where to locate your heartbeat per minute. There are times when doing physical activities wherein we're having a hard time expressing our exertion in words. For this reason, the rate of perceived exertion is created by Gunnar Borg back in the 1960s in order to allow people to take into account how they feel throughout a workout in order to gauge the intensity of their activity. Using the rate of perceived exertion scale, one can describe how hard they feel they're working when exercising. A simple numerical list with given values serves as scale which ranges from minimal exertion to maximal effort to reflect how the exercisers might feel. The exerciser is asked to assess how difficult they believe they're working given the rate of breathing, heart rate, increased perspiration, and aching muscles. The intensity of a wide range of activities including cardiac exercise, weightlifting, and even physical demands of a job can be gauged using the RPE scale. Now you know how to rate your perceived exertion.
The normal heartbeat of adults ranges between 60 to 100 ppm, but when we perform physical activities, we have a target heart rate that should be achieved in order to identify if you really performed the activity effectively. So, for moderate intensity physical activity, the target heart rate should be between 64% and 76% of your maximum heart rate. So for instance, there is a student named Isabel. She is a 17 years old girl who plays badminton. So the first thing we need to do is to calculate what is her maximum heart rate. So in getting the maximum heart rate, we only need to subtract the age of the person to 220. So 220 minus 17 is equals to 203 BPM. So the MHR is 203 BPM. The second thing we need to do is to multiply 203 BPM, the MHR, to 64% and 76%. So when we calculate this, we will have 129.92 and 154.28 respectively. So, just like the previous one, the first thing we need to do is to calculate the maximum heart rate. So, 220 subtracted by 20 is equals to 200 ppm. So, the MHR is 200. Then, we multiply 200, which is the MHR, to 77% and 93%. So when we calculate this, we will have 154 and 186 respectively. And that's how you will compute the maximum heart rate.
Hi everyone! Today I'll be teaching you on how to get your target heart rate. You might be wondering, how do we get our target heart rate? So first, we will get our maximum heart rate, which is simply subtracting our age from 220. So I will take myself as an example. I am 18 years old, so we just simply 220 minus 18 is equals to 202. So this is my maximum heart rate. Second, we determine our HRR, heart rate reserve, which is simply subtracting our RHR, resting heart rate, from our MHR, maximum heart rate, which we just got earlier. So for example, I am 18 years old with an RHR, resting heart rate, of 64 beats per meter. So we just simply HRR is equals to MHR minus resting heart rate. So we have MHR of 202 minus 64 beats per meter, which is our resting heart rate, is equals to 138, which is our HRR or heart rate reserve. Looking back at number 2, we solve for our HRR. So we will be using this to take 60% and 80% of our HRR, heart rate reserve. So to easily solve, we convert our percentage to decimal. So 60% is 0.60 and 80% is 0.80. For 60%, we have 0.60 times 138, which is our HRR, is equals to 82.8. So that would be our 60% of heart rate reserve. For 80%, we have 0.80 times our heart rate reserve, 138, is equals to 110.4. And that would be 80% of our HRR. After getting the 60% of HRR and 80% of our HRR, we then add each of our HRR or heart rate reserve to the RHR, resting heart rate, to obtain the target heart rate. So first, our 60% HRR is 82.8 plus our resting heart rate, 64 beats per meter, is equals to 146.8 beats per meter. So that would be our minimum range. Next, we have 80% of HRR, which is 110.4 plus our resting heart rate, which is 64 beats per meter, is equals to 174.4 beats per meter. And that would be our maximum. Thus, my target heart rate would be 146.8 beats per meter to 174.4 beats per meter.